think throughout life there's a handful of bands or artists which you'll always consider your favourites, but then out of nowhere you'll have that one band or artist that, while it fits in line with your tastes, you can't quite pinpoint why it sits outside of your regular listening. But it's somehow cemented itself as a band that you always love. That band is almost a bit like your favourite cousin showing up at a family gathering. You don't see them as much as your best mates, but every time you see that cousin, the vibe is kind of the same. Now, to anyone who is still listening and hasn't switched off from whatever on earth I'm on about, or better yet, has actually understood what I'm talking about, the band for me that fills that sort of void is Milky Chance. Milky Chance are a German indie folk bass pounding band. They've always produced music that I love. The band somehow has a massive following and have songs that have millions and even billions of streams. Yet whenever I bring up the band outside of people I've already introduced them to, people have no idea who I'm talking about, which is strange given how popular they seem at a glance. The conversation often goes something like this: "Oh, you like Arctic Monkeys and Tame Impala? Oh, that's cool. Do you like Milky Chance?" Do I like what? Milky Chance? I don't know what you're talking about, mate, but you can't be saying that kind of thing in public. There's kids around. No, the band Milky Chance. I've never heard of them. What is that name? Okay, you'll have heard this. I then proceed to play Stolen Dance on my phone. Oh, I have heard that song, yeah, but I've never heard of the band. After going through this process several times in my life now, I've gathered the information to realise that either Milky Chance are incredibly popular in Europe and not in the UK, or Milky Chance somehow hasn't reached, specifically, the north of England. So then, who on earth are Milky Chance, and why should you be listening to them? Well, as previously noted, Milky Chance are from Germany, but sing songs in English, which to be honest is fairly normal at this point. But the thing that always kind of interested me in them was their strange style. The main two frontmen of the band and also possessors of fantastic hairstyles are Clemens and Philip. Philip is on percussion, whilst Clemens leads the charge with his raspy vocals and his lovely moustache. Now, when we speak about styles, we understand that there is indie rock music, there is German folk music, and then there's whatever music Billie Eilish produces. But before anyone kicks off, I do like Billie Eilish's music. But if you take the minimalist aspect combined with the deep bass she typically uses in her songs, that's exactly what I mean. Now, Milky Chance seems to have created a vibe through the combination of the three, and the output is pretty interesting and very good. You've got classic folk style progressions ingrained into the soul of their work, met by billowing guitar chords and more indie rock style take on the songwriting, alongside echoing ragged vocals, and finally combined with that deep bass and an angle for storytelling throughout the song. I can't particularly think of another band that I listen to that produces music that sounds kind of like theirs as a whole package. Their first album, Sad Necessary, is an album that I never skip songs on, and to be honest, I still don't quite understand how on earth they managed to capture the sounds they did on this album. It's fantastic songwriting and it's complemented by great instrumentals and storytelling. It feels a bit like a confession of melancholy, the kind of things you experience in your youth and in relationships, done all whilst you're feeling like you're running through a large German forest. It also contains the song Stolen Dance on it, which is what most people have heard from Milky Chance, but my particular favourites are Flash Drunk Mind and Sad Necessary. Their follow-up albums maintain the core aspect of Milky Chance's sound whilst moving into a more pop-style direction for the songwriting style. And whilst the music on a general basis still sounded like the same ideas and you could identify it as Milky Chance, you could still easily see that there was a shift away from their more personal-centred storytelling that featured on their debut. But to be honest, I have no complaints about any of the albums and I love them all. But the first album still holds that special place in my heart. Now, Milky Chance don't only produce their own excellent work, but they've also come to be champions of professional karaoke, producing some really superb covers of songs over the years. They covered Where Is My Mind by the Pixies, and to be honest, they didn't butcher it, which straight from the bat means it's better than 99% of covers of Where Is My Mind. In fact, they actually did what I'd say is a good cover, whereas a lot of Pixies covers often result in me throwing my laptop out the window in pure desperation to get away with the agony of what I'm hearing. They also released an album full of covers. They had some great songs such as Levitating by Dua Lipa and Tainted Love, and also my personal favourite of the album, which is a cover of Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. Overall, I think the main thing that's impressed me by Milky Chance is their consistency over the last 7 years. They managed to replicate their sound on that unique indie folk based pumping sound that they have that is pretty niche, but they also managed to slightly shift each album. Now, I'm not going to lie, to most people all these albums will sound the exact same, and to be honest, that's because they do a little. But for me, like I said, there's enough tiny changes from album to album for it not to get stale. And it also does help that the fact that the quality of what they're producing is what I consider a pretty high standard. So even if it does sound the same, I don't mind too much because they're all great. Also, they're absolutely fantastic live, and again, I felt the bass in my heart, and I mean that in quite a concerning way. I mean, the bass was so deep it was vibrating through my central nervous system, and for 2 seconds I genuinely thought I was about to spout wings and fly through the roof of the concert. But alas, there ends my love letter to Milky Chance. Go ahead and listen to them, they are excellent. Let me know what you think. Have you heard of Milky Chance before? Do you love their music? Or do you think it's just that they've not reached the north of England? But overall, I hope you go listen to them and I hope you enjoy them or keep on enjoying them. And on that note, I think I'll say ta-ra for now and I'll see you later.